On November 10th of 1993, the doors where I laid sleep exploded, yielding entry to federal local authorities serving a federal warrant. Within minutes, I was handcuffed, placed in a paddy wagon, and taken to the federal building downtown. Shortly thereafter, I was given a copy of my indictment, rushed into the courtroom before a magistrate, given what they call arraignment, denied bail, and taken to the county jail, where I would stay for nearly 2 years. Within weeks, we were tried, convicted, and ultimately I received 2 life sentences. Ultimately, I would do 22 years before being released. I remember sitting in a yard, which was probably the changing point for me. Treated almost as a celebrity, if you will, with a number of guys standing around me, said that there was a young man from a local town in Indiana that wanted to meet me. And I said, by all means, bring him over. And they brought him over and set him in front of me. And the young man sat there with his eyes sparkly as though he had seen maybe Michael Jackson or someone. And I looked at him and said, how you doing? He said nervously, I'm fine. And he said, you know, when y'all had gotten arrested, I was in grade school. And I said, yeah. He said, a teacher gave us an assignment. It said, write an essay about anything you wanted to. He said, and the only thing I knew was y'all. He said, I'd watch y'all in the neighborhood, in the fancy cars and the pretty girls and things that were with you. He said, and I watched y'all doing all the things that you was doing, so that was all I knew. And that's what I wrote an essay on. And for, seemed like an eternity, I just sat there and looked at that kid who had 99 years. And I thought to myself, my God, am I responsible for this kid being here? Was him watching my foolishness, my antics, part of what he grew up and imitated, and now he's here with me? RecycleForce is a social enterprise operating in Marion County, Indianapolis, Indiana, predominantly serving citizens deemed moderate to high risk returning to communities from incarceration. We have served this population since serving our first client in 2004 and have developed a model of transitional employment coupled with training and support that is naturally recognized for its effectiveness with this population.
I've always loved RecycleForce. My first kind of connection to RecycleForce was in my scholarship. My scholarship and research focus on reentry. And RecycleForce has been a premier transitional employer from the moment I guess I really started my career as a professor. And so I've studied RecycleForce in their transitional employment program.
It's so very, very needed. There is so much need to help people go back into civil society, get back in the labor force, and to be men and women who can take care of their families and help them have good households and have earning capabilities that can take people away from crime.
So the process and what you will be responsible for is to successfully complete our program. Once you've successfully completed our program, get some industry recognized credentials, I now place you with whatever candidate that we deem fit and what you deem fit for as well.
My aha moment about this population occurred when I was a kid with my own dad. The aha moment was when my dad asked for help recovering from drug addiction. And so it's at that very moment that it became crystallized that people can and will change if they have the willingness to do so. And you see this within this population of newly released people.
Oh, man, I love being able to interact with individuals that I actually can relate to. I'm a former professional athlete, so it hits close to home to me. I'm very familiar with their environment, so it's my way of giving back.
Life skills training, including interpersonal communications, cognitive self-change, social skills, problem-solving skills, and anger management will be incorporated into the work ethic training that occurs over the course of on-site training and transitional employment in the Recycle facility. During program orientation day one, the case manager and job development staff will provide information on career development, including the kinds of jobs for which RecycleForce can help prepare them. On day one, the case manager will work with each client individually to develop the individual career plan, which includes any service and support needed.
RecycleForce is so successful because they offer people an opportunity, and in doing so, they offer people hope that they have a second chance at being a productive citizen in this country. RecycleForce hires people that may not otherwise be able to garner employment right when they're released, and in doing so, this really does change the dynamic of the person in greater society. They become a contributing taxpayer, they become a positive citizen, and then they end up really being part of a larger group or a brotherhood or a sisterhood of people who are released from prison, which in effect builds a social supportive network within the participants at RecycleForce.
One of the other things that we deal with is people who come and say, well, man, I don't want to just work hamburger jobs and these types of jobs. And I say, well, listen, given the type of records we have, we probably won't be a money truck driver anywhere soon. It's a pretty good guess that we probably won't head up a bank nowhere soon. So we'll have to start somewhere. This is where we come in with the ABCs, which is called any job, A, better job, B, and ultimately career, C. Again, any job, better job, career. Where you start out in life, or in this section of your life, does not have to determine where you end up at. What you want to do when you first get out is get an income. Get some kind of income, legal income, coming in that will aid and assist you in abstaining from criminal activity. If you do not have an income coming in, the odds of you of getting in trouble are astronomical. Me and Professor Lonnie Silver believe in abstinence. That's where you voluntarily stay out of trouble. Any job, better job, career helps you do that. Don't worry about if you have to flip burgers starting out, or you start out at a janitorial job. That's not where you have to end up, although that's not a bad position. You can advance to anywhere you would like, even into your own business. So don't worry about where you start off, just work towards where you want to go. Remember, the ABCs of RecycleForce is any job, better job, career. Oftentimes we're so told, and I deal with this when I go into the prison systems, is that nobody wants to hire me, I'm a felon. Nobody will give me a chance to give me a job. And I tell them immediately, no, that's not true. First of all, I'm a felon, and I work for the city of Indianapolis. Gregg Keesling's created a place for you to come to, that he will hire you virtually from day one. I'm one of the people who do referrals here, and I've sent people here with records that make mine look small, and he hires them and retrains them and gives them pride. When you look up a gentleman that's coming to work, a new man, RecycleForce is and truly is the real deal.
And so there came a time that I was going to retire from RecycleForce because I had an opportunity to go into full-time pastoring right here in the city of Indianapolis, Indiana, which is Brookside Community Church. And once that transition happened, I became a part of the board here because that was significant to me. Because after being incarcerated, after coming through chronic addiction, after re-entering, I felt that it was my lifetime's duty to walk life out with individuals just like myself that have come out of a lot of stuff in our lives. And so I became a part of the board here of RecycleForce and connected Brookside Community Church and RecycleForce in partnership. And the partnership is so deep that individuals that come into RecycleForce, normally the money has to follow them. It takes resources for people to become participants here. And so as a church, we would pay the wage for a person to come work here at RecycleForce for 4 months. We'd cut a check for an
Subsidized employment allows us to pay the wages of individuals so they can earn and learn. They're able to work a little bit, but they're also training and gaining the credentials. For instance, we pay to study for a high school equivalency test.
The turning point for most of the people that are getting out of prison or the formerly incarcerated really is, I think, about hitting a rock bottom, and that is different for everybody. Sometimes it's a drug problem. Sometimes it's the realization that your behavior has negatively impacted somebody else, and you want to stop that. And I would say finally, another turning point is hope that the next time it will be better. Some people put a lot of stock in, this time when I get out, I'm going to do the right thing, and they stay committed to that.
Oh, this program is amazing. It's funny you say. I talked to this group in what they call a circle early in the morning. And I asked them by show of hands how many believe that for the most part, most people don't want to hire you or don't want you associated with their businesses. And a lot of hands went up. I said, great. When you were in prison, did you think about whether or not or how difficult it would be to get jobs? And a lot of them said, yeah, we thought that we couldn't get them or that it would be difficult. I said, then how thankful should you be to Gregg Keesling, who created a place exactly for you so that you can get a job from day one when you come out of custody. Imagine that. He doesn't care about what you were arrested for. He doesn't care about your ethnicity. He doesn't care about any of that. Only thing he cares about is that you come out of the system and that you want to be successful in life. That's all he asks.
Our program is so successful because we can meet people where they are. You need immediate earnings when you come home. You have fines and fees, ankle bracelet fines you need to pay. So when you come into the RecycleForce program, you have an immediate job at $10 per hour, and we help you gain credentials and skills to help you move to the next level.
If you're coming out of prison and you're looking for a place to call home, if you will, your beginnings, a place to get you trained, you want to start here at RecycleForce. It's an amazing place, and it's a place that really cares. So I'm telling you, Thomas Ridley, AKA Big T, check my record. RecycleForce is indeed the real deal.
Welcome to RecycleForce. We are the peer leaders. We be here when you get here.